This information and this video comes from the point of view of someone who once enjoyed Twomads content and thought that he was perhaps maybe one of the most unique and unreplicatable creators on the face of YouTube. For the last year, a very glaring and ugly side of Twomad had been revealed to the public, as well as a downward spiral into narcotics. I am going to mention a lot of things about him came out about sexual assault and paedophile allegations. James Ski and Twomad have been having this really vicious on and off cycle where essentially James Ski is saying that he's gonna, and he was paying for the trial of this girl that Twomad had sexually assaulted, and Twomad didn't like that very much and was attempting to make some attempts, allegedly, on James Ski's life, and I've got to say, unfortunately, I believe it. And here's the tweet in full. I can finally say it, Twomad was a rapist and a paedophile. Over the past few years, he tried to murder me multiple times for helping the police and detectives in multiple states investigate a lot of horrible things that he's done. He wanted to take me out He wanted to take out multiple innocent lives by getting behind the vehicle and going head-on on a freeway while being high on illegal drugs. He didn't succeed. Once he had overdosed before killing anyone, so he tried it again. Despite him trying to murder me and multiple innocent lives, I've been trying to help law enforcement to make sure he's safe and doesn't get hurt and doesn't harm anyone. If that is true, James Ski is genuinely a true GOAT in this situation, as what I'm going to say later on does reflect the way that I feel that Twomad could have been given help. Not that I feel like he would have taken it, it's just really an all-around shit situation no matter what. Please remember that he's a rapist and a paedophile who continued to prey on the vulnerable even after the police got involved, including a 13-year-old in a mental hospital. Fucking undefendable actions. Actually undefendable actions, yes. The tragedy doesn't excuse any of his actions, which is also extremely true. I will address a lot of stuff when I fully collect my thoughts. Past few months I've been a total mess, and the reason why I ended up in AR. Please give me time. I believe that this tweet promptly came out 30 minutes after his confirmed death online. And I understand that James Ski probably had this on his mind for a long time, given just how fucking pressing this entire situation's been. But 30 minutes is fresh, I gotta say. I mean, it's not like he liked the guy. I mean, he was looking out for his well-being, but he immediately said this online too. I'm sure there's perfectly good reasons. I like James Ski. I like his videos. I watch them quite a lot. So what looks like's happened is one thing has come out about Twomad about these sexual assault allegations, and he knew that he had a lot of shit stuff under his belt, and he immediately just started schizo posting because he knew that the end times were over. Otherwise, why would he be trying to make attempts on James Ski's life? Allegedly, right? Allegedly. I'm sure he's got proof of it, which he'll be able to probably provide in a video if he chooses to. He might not even have to. It seems that everybody's opinion on Twomad over the last few years has been pretty much formulated and solidified, and that's totally fine. But I really can't help but see this entire situation as just incredibly fucking tragic. I don't know if that's controversial or not. I must be recording in an echo chamber right now because I've said this before and I'll say it again throughout the video. I really wish that something could have been done, but then again, by the looks of it, it didn't look like Twomad wanted anything done. He looked like he was on a sinking ship. He looked like he was on a sinking ship, and he was going down with it, however which way he chose. Some other just awful things that he said online, but at the end of the day, that last part is Twomad. You can't really pick and choose what you like to hear on the internet, and I did believe this even when he said it, but that doesn't stop people getting upset. You can't really control what people say, and nor can you control the response. But the actions that he took on other people, and the positions that he put other people in, other creators, threatening their livelihood and life is not something I wish to justify. But unlike just about every other creator on the internet right now, I'm not scared to say that Twomads passing was an absolutely tremendously sad moment for me. I feel that a lot of creators are going to shy away from genuinely voicing their respect for what Twomad did to the platform and the content that he created because of his most recent past actions. And I do understand how that's a slippery slope. This is disgusting online at the moment. A lot of people are saying that he deserved to die because of his actions, and the way he did it was justified. He did choose his own path on a road to a narcotic overdose, and the way that he set up all of the cards in his house of cards, he made it topple himself. I completely agree. But I will not for a moment sit impartial upon a fence and say that his death was a neutral action. Maybe I'm just incredibly emotional about the situation, but I just can't help but feel if it wasn't Twomad stood on top of a platform and this was your everyday guy with a 9 to 5, and he had done all these things, people would pray that this person would get some kind of help. And I understand that, he didn't reach out for help publicly, but I feel that his mental health and his character in general, never taking a loss kind of attitude, always coming back and just giving everybody the finger while he does it, is what made him give this this standoffish approach towards "I'm not leaving, you can suck my dick," and it didn't help his image. But I feel numb to the situation now. After looking into it a little bit more, I feel a bit numb. I can't slate anyone for saying they wished him gone, because, to be fair, if it was anyone else, yeah, of course they would want them gone. It's a very... I'm contradicting myself here. I really... It's difficult. Twomad was most likely isolated in his situation, and rightfully so after what happened. I don't imagine many people wanted to stand in his corner, and because it's Twomad, he doubled down. He never knows when to stop, and the only person in his corner was narcotics. This is a tremendously sad turn of events. A 23-year-old life has overdosed. Again, I will reinforce Twomad's actions, the alleged actions against his character that have cropped up after the last year, even the stuff that he would just admit on Twitter. You can't say that he was helping himself. And if Twomad received help for the mental state he was in and the current situation he found his mind going towards, he probably wouldn't have took it anyway. But there is a slight inkling in my brain that if help was there, maybe Twomad would have turned around. But I'm less inclined to believe that the more it crosses my mind, because Twomad was always unhinged. He was always set in his ways. He was strange, and before all of this, a beloved character I believe a lot of us could find very relatable. And it's so incredibly sad to see his self-sabotage over the last few years, and my personal apologies to everybody he's affected. I genuinely hope whatever he's set in motion calms soon enough. But this still, to me, is just the most possibly tragic loss we could have ever gotten from the end of this situation. And looking on his Twitter, it almost looks as if this overdose was either unintentional or not premeditated, because the things he was saying on his Twitter, not that that is anything to go off, because Twomad's mind is so unhinged, and he just says whatever the fuck he wants. That's Twomad. They seem to reflect him not really being aware of his soon-to-be demise. I found Twomad's channel when I was looking for Overwatch content, when I was attempting to get back into the game, and I found his Lucio video, which a lot of people found him through, and I was hooked ever since. I couldn't believe a single man had so much unbridled autistic energy, and I fucked with it so heavy. And I kinda liked the little dark side it had, but no one was aware that it went to this extent. And he always gave this I'm off my tits on drugs energy, but he always denied it. But now we know that Twomad has denied a lot of things. You never really know. I will continue to look on Twomad's past with great admiration. Some of my content at the beginning was even inspired directly by Twomad's work. So to see a creator that I looked up to and modelled myself after choose a life of a downward spiral over something that could have very, very easily been fixed. I mean, look at Carson. I very much was rooting for Carson after that awful mistake that he made. And he left for a year, and he got himself sorted out, and he came back strong. I don't watch Carson much anymore. It's just my personal preference. But whenever this kind of thing happens to a creator, or in Twomad's case, when a creator does this to themselves, I'm always hoping that they will turn it around, like the big boys that they are able to be. But it seems that at every single corner Twomad turned after the incident, he wanted to drive it further into the ditch. He wanted to keep digging this hole, and it just really makes you think how much was below the surface. How much shit was there in this drama, you know? How many people was he doing this to? And I really wish he would have chosen the grown-up approach and just stopped being this schizophrenic douche online and doubling down and bullying, not even bullying, but just blatantly making fun of other victims and denying it and saying stupid stuff like it was funny or it was she deserved it, or something along those lines, about multiple different victims just to guilt trip everybody, or alleviate himself of some guilt rather than actually take the situation and flip it on its head and do something right about it. He instantly just flocked to Twitter and started posting 40 times a day about nonsense and trying to further piss off this group of people that he's already made such a problem for. When I think about Twomad now, I'm not going to think about his most recent actions, although I do feel extremely bad for everybody he's affected. As I said earlier on in the video, my genuine condolences if someone's watching this video thinking I'm sucking his dick, because I'm not. I just think it's tragic. I will not think of a stained legacy. I will not think of his previous actions of malice and discare for others. I will think of his stupid Discord videos and his Fortnite shit, and I'll think of his energetic, chaotic, mad bastard energy that was Twomad, that has been gone and dead for some time now in the retrospect and energy that he had before. Once again, I will reiterate, there's no point in rooting for him now, he's dead, but I'm not defending his actions. What he did and has been doing for the last year is deplorable and even made me disengage from his content. I didn't want to see any of it. I don't think any of us did. The only people that really wanted to see his tweets were the people that actively wanted to see him fail and actively wanted to further fuck him over, which I can totally understand given what he's done. I'm against cancel culture in general, but this is kind of a bit further than just a cancellation. I'm also not saying I'm dancing on his grave. I'm just saying that I'm incredibly sad that this is where it came to. This is where it went, and it's nobody's fault but his. It's nobody's fault but his. There's 100 ways he could have dealt with the situation, and there's 100 ways he could have made things better. Not right, because you can't come back from what he did. But I will miss the old personality that's been gone for a long time, and it's kind of sad just to know that this situation will never heal. It's just going to be a open wound on the victims and the community that he built and his family. And my thoughts go to everyone previously mentioned. Obviously, don't go track down his family. They must be fucking devastated right now. And I am just about done talking about this because I've already had to re-record certain sections that just didn't sound right. It's a very uncharted territory for me. I just wanted to say that I don't want to dance on the grave of a dead man, really. And despite what he's done, I still always thought that there would be some kind of better resolution eventually, but that was months ago where I thought that would be the case. He was kind of just a disembodied thought in my head for some time. And it's sad that this wound will never close. And with that, probably one of the last times you'll see this meme without him mocking his demise, death, or downfall.
Oh, hey, I'm just about to go to bed. I know we couldn't Skype tonight, but that's alright. Good night, girl. I'll see you tomorrow.